Did you know that most driving instructors leave out some of the most important things that could actually save your life on the road? They drill you on stop signs, lane changes, and parallel parking. But what about the stuff that really matters when you're in a split-second life or death situation? So in this video, I'm breaking down 6 crucial things that driving school forgot to teach you, from avoiding distractions to the one mistake that could make your brakes completely fail when you need them the most. If you want to drive safer, react faster, and avoid becoming another accident statistic, stick around because this is stuff every driver needs to know. Let's get into it. Number 1. Adjust your seat properly. You probably think adjusting your seat is just about comfort, but what if I told you that getting it wrong could put you at serious risk even in a minor accident? See, most people just slide into the driver's seat and start driving without thinking twice about their position. But here's the deal. If your seat isn't adjusted properly, you're not only making long drives more exhausting, but you're also putting yourself in real danger. For example, if your legs are stretched too far to reach the pedals, you're going to have slower reaction times. And if your knees are too bent, you could suffer severe leg injuries in a crash. Your backrest, it should be reclined at about 100 degrees, not too straight, not too laid back, because if you're hunched forward or too far back, your body isn't positioned correctly to handle a sudden impact. And let's talk about your steering wheel. It should be about one palm's width away from your legs. If it's too close, an airbag deployment could seriously injure your chest or face. Ever felt back pain after a long drive? That's probably because your lumbar support isn't set right, and your lower back needs support to prevent long-term strain. And don't forget your headrest. It should be aligned with the top of your head, not just for comfort, but to prevent whiplash if you get rear-ended. Number 2. Avoid distracted driving. You might think you're just quickly checking a text, adjusting the radio, or taking a sip of coffee, but in reality, those split seconds could be the difference between life and death. Studies show that looking away from the road for just 5 seconds at highway speeds is like driving the length of a football field blindfolded. Think about that 100 yards without seeing a thing. And it's not just texting, even hands-free calls, messing with your GPS, or talking to passengers can steal your attention in critical moments. The scary part? Most drivers don't even realize when they're distracted. The brain tricks you into thinking you're still in control, when in reality, your reaction time is significantly slower. This is why distracted driving is responsible for thousands of fatal crashes every year. But here's how you avoid it. Set up your GPS before you start driving, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, and if you absolutely need to do something, pull over. It only takes one moment of distraction to change your life forever, and trust me, no text or snack is worth that risk. Number 3. Do not lift your whole foot off the floor while switching pedals. Here's a small driving habit that nobody talks about, but it could save your life. When switching between the gas and brake pedals, never lift your entire foot off the floor. Why? Because the extra movement makes your reaction time slower, and in an emergency, those milliseconds matter. Think about it. If you completely lift your foot off and reposition it, you're wasting time and making it easier for your foot to slip off the pedal. This is especially dangerous in situations where you need to brake suddenly. Instead, keep your heel planted on the floor and pivot smoothly between pedals. This technique not only keeps your foot stable, but it also gives you better control over braking and acceleration. And here's something else: if your foot is constantly hovering or moving too much, it can cause leg fatigue over long drives, making you less precise when you actually need to hit the brakes. This is why professional drivers, from race car drivers to emergency vehicle operators, always keep their heel grounded for faster, more controlled movements. Number 4. Properly use the anti-lock braking system. If you've ever felt your brake pedal vibrate or pulse when you slam on the brakes, that's your anti-lock braking system kicking in. But here's the problem. Most people don't know how to use it properly. In driving school, they might mention ABS exists, but they never really explain how it works or what to do when it activates. First off, never pump the brakes when ABS is engaged. A lot of drivers panic and instinctively start tapping the pedal, but that actually reduces braking efficiency and can make you lose control. Instead, press the brake firmly, and holding it down will automatically adjust the braking force to prevent wheel lockup and keep your car stable. This is especially important on wet or icy roads, where skidding is a serious risk. If you feel the brake pedal vibrating or pushing back at you, don't freak out. That's normal. It means the system is doing its job. But ABS isn't magic. It won't make your car stop instantly. It's designed to help you maintain steering control while braking, so if you're in an emergency, focus on both braking and maneuvering around obstacles. Number 5. Maintain a safe following distance using the 2-second rule. Ever had someone tailgate you so close you could count their nose hairs in your rearview mirror? Yeah, that's a disaster waiting to happen. What most drivers don't realize is that following too closely is one of the biggest causes of rear-end collisions. And here's the kicker. Most people don't even know the proper following distance. That's where the 2-second rule comes in. It's simple. Pick a fixed object on the road. When the car in front of you passes it, start counting. 1001, 1002. If you reach that object before you finish counting, you're too close and need to back off. But here's where it gets real. 2 seconds is the bare minimum. If it's raining, snowing, or you're driving at high speeds, increase it to 4 seconds or more, because stopping distances increase dramatically. According to studies, at 60 miles per hour, it takes over 240 feet to stop a car on dry pavement. Imagine how much worse it is in bad weather. If someone suddenly slams on their brakes and you're too close, you have zero reaction time. That's why leaving space isn't just a nice-to-have thing, it's a life-saving habit. Number 6. Check the brake pipes regularly. Here's something most drivers never think about your brake pipes. Driving school drills press the brake to stop into your head, but what they don't tell you is that if your brake pipes fail, you won't be stopping at all. Your brake system relies on hydraulic pressure, and if your brake pipes are cracked, leaking, or damaged, that pressure disappears, meaning your brakes could fail when you need them most. So how do you know if something's wrong? Look out for warning signs like screeching noises, a soft or spongy brake pedal, or fluid leaking near your wheels. But here's the thing. You shouldn't wait for warning signs. Even the smallest crack in a brake hose can lead to total failure under hard braking. The best way to check? Run your fingers along the brake hoses if they feel stiff, brittle, or show any signs of cracking. They need to be replaced immediately. Brake hoses should be flexible, dry, and free of damp patches. And after replacing them, always bleed the brakes before driving again. Air bubbles in the system can be just as dangerous as a leak. Ignoring your brake pipes isn't just risky, it's a potential death sentence. So, do yourself a favor and make checking them a habit before they fail at the worst possible moment.